Hello everybody, welcome back to the Street Fighter League recap. I'm James Chen.
Hey, and I'm UltraDavid. This is the second half of the Street Fighter League, so at this point the teams are playing each other over again. Let's hop into week number 7.
And just like in week 2, we begin this week with Frost, Dual Kevin, Up to Snuff, and Nephew versus Inferno, Broly Legs, JB, and Punk.
In the bans, Frost banned Karen, obviously from Punk, thereby letting JB live though.
That's right, it's the same that they did the first time.
Exactly.
And you know what, Inferno did the same thing as well.
Yeah, banning Nikali, obviously against Up to Snuff, that did work last time, but an additional factor in this may have been that Punk expected Karen to be banned and may have wanted to play Colleen, so he couldn't have banned Nephew's Colleen as a result.
Yeah. And in the order, Frost went with Dual Kevin, Up to Snuff, and saved Nephew for the end.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Nephew may have wanted to see which character Punk used. I know he doesn't like to play the mirror match against Punk, that's for sure. So.
Yeah, I mean, he actually lost that in a tournament at one point in time.
Correct.
And then on Inferno, it was Punk, Broly, and JB.
Yeah, their order keeps on switching back and forth kind of between the first and the last. I don't really know the rhyme and reason of it.
Punk is just like, I'm first, I'm last, I'm first.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's a genius, whatever.
Exactly,
he can do whatever he wants.
100%, yeah. In the actual matches, Punk did start things out, so he picked Colleen versus Dual Kevin's Rashid.
Yeah, and you know what? The order, I think, worked out really well because we've been talking about how good Dual Kevin has been. So Punk going first to try to take him out was a smart call, and it was super close, though. Dual Kevin took him to pretty much the last round, and we were like, oh my god, but then Punk was like, I'm the alpha, I'm gonna take this with a perfect.
Yeah, the end actually was a blow. Then it was Up to Snuff Akuma versus Broly Legs Chun. Again, it's a situation where Broly looks like he's doing great. He actually had 4 match points. Each of those had a life lead in the round.
Yeah, big life lead too.
And still, his opponent Up to Snuff managed to win. So another situation where Broly Legs does well but doesn't come out with the W.
Yeah, last week we even mentioned that Broly Legs hadn't had a chance to play against the secondary. Well, he had his chance this time.
Still did not work out. Then it was Nephew's G versus JB's Rashid, of course. And this is very interesting. Nephew's G has done great in the past, but this week, no.
Yeah, what's really interesting about this is that he did go G at all. And I really feel like he did it because he was thinking, oh, if I win with Colleen, I've got to play Punk's Colleen, and I don't like that mirror match. He went with G in anticipation of beating JB and fighting Punk.
So then it came down to Punk beating Up to Snuff's Akuma. Up to Snuff did play well.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, even though Up to Snuff, we talked about how impressive his Nikali has been with the movement, but his Akuma looked really strong. He did really well versus Punk, but he went for the demon at the end. It didn't work out.
It just didn't work out. That's Punk for you. So Inferno ends up taking it 3-1. Frost, I like watching them. They give each other good advice. Between each game, each of them takes their headsets off and they're all yammering to each other. I think that's really great to see.
Yeah, and you know what? We've been seeing with Up to Snuff, he's had to use a secondary a couple of times now, mostly against Team Inferno. Both times his Akuma looked pretty good, and Nephew's G looked really strong as well. So they have a good variety, so they're keeping the bans a little bit trickier for the opponents.
Right. And then on Inferno, look, Punk is the best player in the world.
Dude, there's nothing
but by the way, not just even the best player in the game, but his bans. I mean, the way that he banned Nikali, but he still kept Colleen for himself. Yeah. I mean, he's very smart with that stuff.
Clearly, that's all you can say. That Punk is the best. He is definitely a nefarious opponent.
Battle 2 was Storm with Classico, Idom, Samurai versus Psycho, which is Just a Kid, Toy, and El Chacote.
Yep, and the bans, they just went the predictable way that we expect, right? Storm banned Bison from Toy. It's been working, let's just keep doing it, and Psycho banned Laura. Shock.
That's what everybody's done, and I get it because he just made top 8 combo breaker, he's very strong, but there had been 3 OCVs in a row by Akuma from Samurai.
Yeah, so at this point,
I don't know.
Yeah, but on the order, Storm went with Classico, Idom, and Samurai. Look, Samurai is going to be on Anchor.
Has to be Anchor.
She's done that 3 weeks in a row, so,
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the other side, a little curious, I thought, that it was Just a Kid, El Chacote, and then Toy on Anchor. Toy on Anchor, he can't use Bison. He must expect that.
Right.
And then he's put himself versus Samurai. I think that's a curious choice.
Yeah, I mean, you know Samurai's going last, right? Because he's had the clutch every single time. So at this point, putting Toy at the end, I feel like was really just like sacrificing him, you know? I mean, it was just like, here you go.
Yeah. In the matches, Classico with Urian versus Just a Kid Jury, pretty close, but an error by Classico, and Just a Kid looked good.
Yeah, and remember, Just a Kid in the very first, in week 2, when they played against each other, Just a Kid was the one who OCV'd this entire team, had to do the reverse OCV, and he was able to do that, so still looking strong.
Idom Birdie versus Chakotay Mika. Idom did take the first round.
And he teabagged? He teabagged?
And he awoke the beast, because in the next round, Chakotay did his own teabagging and then basically just blew Idom up for the whole rest of the set.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because Chakotay, I felt like, was kind of affected, but in a good way.
Positively, it turns out.
Like, oh yeah?
Yeah, he was nicely steep.
And then, guess what? Yeah, we've set up.
Exactly
Here we go.
What comes in, right? So Samurai comes in and he needs to do all the work. So it's Samurai Akuma versus Toy Birdie, which was definitely a blow up. Toy paused, but that round didn't even matter. Would have lost anyway, to be honest. Then it was Samurai versus Just a Kid. Another strong win by Samurai.
Yeah, and again, Just a Kid, like I said, beat him last time that they played, but this time, not happening. And you know, at this point in time, after he beat Just a Kid, you know this guy's confidence is going through. There's like, can you even be nervous at this point? Or do you just feel like you're expecting to go through this whole thing?
It's like an inevitability, and indeed, that's what happened. So Samurai beat El Chakotay after that. Couple errors by Chakotay, but really, I mean, it was just Samurai in control.
Yeah, and again, you know, after he won, you saw him, he just exhaled slowly. He wasn't even a slam down on the headset like it was last week. He just put it down, exhaled, and stood up. And like I said, are you even nervous anymore if you're Samurai? Do you feel any pressure at all? Or is this just like, it's crazy? Because, I mean, at this point in time, he has 13 wins and 2 losses.
I mean, it's just incredible. An incredible record so far for him. I know, again, can you really allow Laura? I don't know. But this question between Akuma and Laura, this is the hardest question to answer in the Street Fighter League, I think, overall. Yeah. Neither of these players do you want to let play, but you have to let one of them play, and the one you've chosen to let play has won by himself 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah, 12 games in a row. And honestly, if you've won a tournament by going through the winner's bracket, by winning 12 matches in a row against that kind of level play, that's a 4,096-man bracket.
Just absolutely incredible. I loved when Classico took Idom's captain's jersey and gave it to Samurai. And Samurai was very nice about it, disclaimed it and stuff, but that actually was right.
Yeah, and you know, it's not anything of Idom's fault, of course. He just keeps getting
how it goes.
But, you know, Team Psycho, on the other hand, you know, I don't, out of all the teams, I don't see them discussing strategy as much as anyone else. It's more just, you know, you got this, but less of the, you know, this person's being defensive, or you're falling for this a lot. So I don't know. I'm not digging the advice that Psycho's giving each other at this point.
It's looking pretty rough out there for them, to be honest. And another loss for them in the Street Fighter League.
And here in week 7, we closed out with GALE, which was Shine, NuckleDu, and Rob TV, versus Team Spirit, of course, with Psycho, Justin Wong, and Brian F.
No real mix-ups when it came to the bans phase. GALE banned Minot against Justin, of course. Same thing happened last time that they played. And Spirit banned Ibuki against Shine. That's happened every week for Shine, and including when they played last as well. In the order, GALE went with Du, Shine, and Rob TV.
Yeah, at this point in time, you know, remember, last time they played, they 3-0'd Team Spirit, right? So I'm guessing that, you know, they're predicting Justin's gonna change the order up. So I feel like they're trying to match it or something. You know, at this point in time, again, NuckleDu, Shine, Rob TV, all solid players. I feel like they can kind of put them in any order.
I think that's probably true. Spirit went with Brian F, Justin in the middle, and then Psycho on Anchor. You know, probably trying to make their own best matchups happen as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like trying to put Brian F maybe against Shine's, you know, jury to try to take him out. But I mean,
if he went jury.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get into the matches. NuckleDu Cammy versus Brian F. Actually a good game by Brian F at the start, but then NuckleDu fought back very well.
Yeah, he figured something out, and then he just ended up taking it over Brian F pretty convincingly after losing game number 1.
You had Shine Nikali versus Justin Karen. I've seen Shine use Necalli in the past, but I think still a little surprised to see that here.
Yeah, and it didn't work out very well, and it was funny because after Justin won, he was like, nice try. So, I'm not sure what Shine was trying to go for, but it clearly didn't work.
Clearly didn't work. Rob TV Karen then played against Psycho Necalli, another situation in which Psycho won game 1, but then Du gave Rob some advice.
Yeah.
I don't know. And Rob basically destroyed Psycho after that.
Yeah, can NuckleDu give me some advice,
Oh my God.
Jeez.
That was amazing. Then you had NuckleDu Cammy versus Justin's Karen, and actually very close in both ways. And cool to see that the way that Justin closed it out was with his own kind of cute little reset.
Yeah, it looked like he was just gonna go for a combo, but then got the stun on the throw instead. Took that, and then it was Rob TV and Justin in a mirror match. Now, the first time they played, Rob TV beat Justin pretty soundly, but Justin was using Falk.
Falk, not this time. It was Karen for Justin this time, and it was a good game to start with by Justin, but again. You have Du coming in with the little sweet nothings into the air for Rob TV, and whatever that was, Rob then dominated again.
Yeah, in game number 3, he just took out Justin cleanly. Yeah. And what was really interesting is after, the match was over and Rip was interviewing them, Rob made sure, he was like, look, okay, I might have won that, but I am sitting here with the best captain.
Right.
Du is being amazing, and like we said, whatever Du is telling him, it is working clearly, because he lost both of those game 1s, and then Du was like, do this. And then Rob was like, oh yeah! And then it was great for man, yeah.
Super cool to have both that level of talented player, as well as somebody who can really help you out sort of with your game, and that is an extremely important role to have. Spirit, again, a very close match. They lose 3-2. They've won so many situations with only 2 wins that you might as well call them Spiritus. It's a Latin joke, James. 4 straight weeks of close 2 to 3 losses for this team.
Yeah, and it's really crazy because they still only have 1 win at this point, and this is the team with Justin Wong, and it's just been close every single time.
Each player has played well.
Yeah.
What did I just say? Psycho won game 1. Justin won game 1. Brian won game 1. They are playing well.
And just haven't been able to clutch it out in the end. You got to imagine right now, I mean, this might be the biggest, quote, disappointment, but like, if you're just looking at record, but if you understand how close they've all been, they've been fighting pretty hard.
After week 7, in the standings, Inferno remains on top. They are 5-1 overall.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that one road bump last week, I mean, Punk has still just been unstoppable at this point. And then Team Storm in second place, 4-2. After the first 2 weeks, it's been Samurai winning 12 in a row.
It's serendipitous that team's name starts with an S as well. I feel like you could change the rest of that word and turn it into Samurai. It would be the same.
Yeah, exactly. Team Samurai. And GALE right after there. Remember, NuckleDu's team right there was the only one that managed to beat Team Inferno. Thanks to that. They have the same record as Storm, but currently in 3rd place.
Yeah, and then you have Frost sitting at 3-3. They definitely have looked good at times, but other times, it just depends on which player they run into, really.
Yeah, and then as we said, 5th place is Team Spirit. Again, probably the biggest surprise on the opposite end, of it's
not what I expected.
Like I said, I don't want to say I'm disappointed because they've been playing great, but they have to be disappointed.
I'm disappointed. And Psycho is 1-5 as well. I feel like it's a pretty tough haul for them. So far, just has not been working out, and in fact, their matches have not been as close as Spirits have been either.
Yeah, exactly. So, this point in time, keep watching. Next week is going to be week 8, and again, you can watch that on youtube.com/Capcom Fighters, as well as twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters.
All right, everybody, thanks a lot for watching the Street Fighter League. Catch you next time.